Hi there. Today I want to talk about integration. If you're like me, you have at least two voices in your head. One is kind of heavenly, one is earthy, one is realistic, one is idealist. And the good or bad, so to speak, inside all of us. Now, there was a time that I would only accept one part of myself. The part that I believed had much higher values than the other lower self, so to speak. And that creates a split. That creates a massive, massive split. And it creates a lot of confusion. It creates a lot of confusion because there comes a time where you actually don't know who you are. And you know that this exists, but you want to create and maintain that self-image for yourself and for other people. It requires so much energy to push this away. And what is this, by the way? Nuisance in my way, in my growth, self-development. It's a hindrance. And really there was a time that I did see it like this, and there would be internal conflict. When I wrote that blog, You Are the Queen of Your Own Castle, I don't know if I mentioned that before. When I wrote this blog, I wrote it after I had a conflict with a friend. Yes, I do have conflicts. I had a conflict with someone, and for the first time in my life, I think it was the first time, it felt like the first time, it felt like such a major leap that I had taken. For the first time, I allowed myself to listen to this other voice, the realist or the earthy. And it felt amazing. It was so good. It felt like for the very first time I understood. I was neither this, spiritual aspirant with these high goals, nor this earthy, animalistic, materialistic being. I was none of them. I was the one managing the situation between the two. I was the one that was holding the two. I am the space that holds these different parts that live within me. These are different, probably brain patterns for all I know, behavioral patterns. And I'm the space that holds it. So integration, I mean integration because it's now I am understanding, if this exists, this earthy part of me exists, it doesn't exist to be denied. It exists to be heard. And sometimes all it wants is to be heard. If it feels that it doesn't matter how much it grabs for your attention, it keeps pulling you and say, hey, look at me, it's going to just scream louder and louder. If it sees that you don't pay attention, the shouting is going to be too much. It just takes away all your peace. So best thing for me is to listen, say, what's wrong? What would you like? What can I do? Is this one bullying you? Are you bullying her? Can you stop that, darling? So kind of in a way, being like a mother, a compassionate and loving mother that wants to maintain peace between her children. Seeing that if she did identify with any of these children, it'll be chaos. There needs to be that stepping back for me to be able to really see myself as a whole rather than as different parts. I need to kind of move back to see from above, this higher perspective, to understand that this one may have something valuable to give that perhaps we're not listening to. So I don't know which one of these voices you identify with. I know one thing for sure, in my case, that when I identify with one of them, sometimes the other one does take over. But whenever I identify with one of them, there is suffering, there is more difficulty, there is more chaos that I have to live. But when I don't, when I step back, immediately I'm sitting in a position of internal power, my own internal power, not over anything, but I'm in a place of, okay, what can we do? And it's a much better place to be than trying to fight with the other and win, which is really what war is all about. So you are the queens and the kings of your own castle, and it is your job, it is my job, to keep the peace inside. And sometimes it can take longer than we want. But I believe that if we get to know, really get to know the needs of the different voices inside that keep playing, if we get to know them really well, we can get the best out of them. I hope you do. Thank you for listening.